This is Mike with Snake Envy. Just want to do a quick intro for this video. In this video, it's going to be brief. We're going to talk about confident grab. Jason and I did an earlier video, a longer form video on socializing and taming snakes. And we've had some good feedback on that video. A couple of you reached out, wanted some additional tips. We appreciate that. We love interacting with each of you. But I want to zero in on two parts of socializing snakes that I think are the most critical. First is confident grab. All we mean by confident grab is moving in decisively, grabbing the snake, doing it all in one motion, and doing that regardless of any defensive behavior he may be exhibiting, including striking, hissing, whatever it might be. Now, the reason you want to do that decisively and in one motion is that if you're starting and you're stopping and you're coming in from different angles, you're just scaring the snake. You're also increasing your level of trepidation. So you're already a little nervous because of all the defensive behavior. You don't want to get bitten. And so you start stopping and starting and changing angles and coming and going. That's just terrifying to your snake. It just makes you appear like a big predator trying to figure out the right angle of attack. It scares your snake a lot less to just come in decisively, grab it, and go from there. So that's what we mean by confident grab. The second key to socializing snakes is always ending your handling sessions on a positive note. So don't put your snake back immediately after a bite or after a musk or even after a tail rattle, whatever it might be. Wait, let your snake calm, even if it's just for a minute, and put your snake back on a positive note, on a high note, not immediately after the defensive behavior. If you combine confident grab with ending your handling sessions on a positive note, even if the handling session is brief, it may only be 5 minutes, it may be 10 minutes, it may be 15. Your goal is to increase the length. You're sending your snake two very important messages. The first one is that defensive behavior won't work. It won't deter you from picking it up and from handling it. The second message you're sending is it's no different than training a dog or a horse or any other animal, by the way. The second message you're sending is you'll be rewarded. The reward is to be put back in the enclosure only when your behavior is good. You're not going to be rewarded for biting me. You're not going to be rewarded for musking me. You're not even going to be rewarded for tail rattles and things of that sort. So the last point I want to make is the snake you're going to see in this video is a very young neonate Great Basin gopher snake. This snake was wild caught legally. He's part of our herping quest, if you've seen those videos, and he's the only one of the snakes that I'm caring for that is defensive, that actually puts on a big display, that actually bites. He's the only one of the group that bites. The last point I want to make is if you're considering a snake and you see all these videos about defensive behavior and bites and this and that, know that that's the minority situation. The majority of snakes in the hobby are not going to be bitey. They're not going to be overly defensive. The majority of my personal collection has never bitten me. They've never even tried to bite me. But when you encounter that defensive snake, it is important to socialize them while they're small. When they are neonates like this, and you'll see in the video, he bites me several times. The bites do not break the skin. The bites do not hurt. That's not going to be true in a year. It's certainly not going to be true in 2 years or 3 years. So you want to socialize snakes when they're small, and you want to get them accustomed to you and handling when they're small. Your fear of them and your fear of that bite is going to be substantially lower. And I always joke with people, you almost want to get that first bite out of the way just so that you can see how mild it is and that it's really not a big deal. So all that anticipation you have of getting bitten, once you do get bit by a very small snake, you realize it's not a big deal at all. And that eases your fear. Your fear is only going to grow as the snake gets bigger. And your snake is learning along the way that if it's defensive, you're probably not going to handle it. So you're sending those signals that tell a snake, the more defensive you are, I'll leave you alone. So get the socialization out of the way while your snake is tiny, while its defensive displays are actually kind of cute rather than scary, and when the bites are not going to hurt. It's only going to be more difficult to do this as the snake gets bigger. So I hope you enjoy the video. Hope these tips help. Thank you. With this little Neo gopher snake, as you can see, he's already in a defensive posture. And as I reach in, he's probably going to hiss. He may strike. That's what he's typically been doing. But I'll explain after I pick him up here why confident grab is so important. So watch that I'm not going to hesitate. I'm not going to start and stop. I'm just going to reach in and grab him, knowing that I may get struck at. I may even get bitten. Let's see how it goes. So he's hissing, he's striking. He did bite me there with an open mouth. Sometimes these gopher snakes in particular, they will just strike at you with a closed mouth and not actually bite. But he's continuing to be defensive. Now I'm going to hold him. I'm going to keep him supported. The goal here is just to make him feel confident and feel calm. There's two messages that you're sending to a snake with confident grab. You'll note that he's already stopped hissing, he's stopped striking. He may start up again. The first thing I'm telling him is that when you're defensive, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to pick you up. The second message, and the more critical one that I'm sending to him, is that I'm not a threat. Once I pick you up, everything's going to be fine. I'm not going to hurt you. I'm going to keep you well supported. I'm going to be gentle. He just hissed at me again. Now, the second part of any handling session, I also just got a minor tail rattle there. Another little minor tail rattle. I want to end every handling session, even if it's brief, even if it's only 5 minutes long. I want to end it on a positive note. I want to end it with him being well behaved. He's being rewarded. Now he just bit me again. So I'm not going to put him back right after that bite. The reward for him after a handling session is to be put away. If I put him away right after a bite or right after a big defensive show, the message being sent is that you'll be rewarded for that behavior. I don't want him rewarded for that behavior. So I just want to give it 30 seconds or a minute, and then I'll put him back once all that behavior has stopped. And right now he's doing very well. So we're going to go ahead and put him down. But that's confident grab, and that's ending a handling session on a positive note. Please comment. Let us know if you have any questions. Thank you.